Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Adam the Eclectic Gamer, coming again with another League of Legends video. I want to thank everyone who's been giving me some help on the forums. I posted links to some of these videos in the forums, and a handful of people have been giving me some good advice. I want to thank Oh Boy It's a Mega Man, Fate000, Dreadginth, and the Anarchist. They've all given me a handful of advice on a bunch of my videos. So I'm jungling with Jarvan again, so hopefully I should be able to use some of that info I got. I'm sorry if I can't make much use of all the CS advice I got. It should be helpful. But anyway, I'm playing Jungle Jarvan again, so hopefully I can learn something new. Team's helping me out here, which is great. So I've been actually really enjoying Jarvan in jungle. He's a lot of fun. Well, I'm enjoying jungle in general, just because I feel like it gets a little less monotonous. You get to do a whole bunch of different things, and Jarvan's really fun because he can actually close gaps really quickly, and his ganking potential is a lot of fun. And then he's also pretty useful in team fights late game, so I feel like you're never sort of out of it. A couple things I'm getting used to here are not having my camera locked. For a long time I had my camera locked, and Oh Boy It's Mega Man helped me out with, told me that I'm going to do a lot better if I can avoid that. So if you see me seemingly freaking out a little bit here with my camera, that's probably why. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's a little difficult. I'm still trying to get used to my jungle timer, which is very helpful in timing all my buffs and everything. I'm using the
Rest when we are dead.
the LOL Memento app to do all my jungle timing. So hopefully that'll be useful. And here we go. Right, so one of the suggestions people made is that I can get to level 3 just with doing the 2 major buffs. So if I can go over and do 3, then theoretically I can gank very quickly. So I'm going to try that, give it a shot. Also, I want to make sure to use my potions right away, because one person said I was sort of saving the potions and may as well just use them immediately. Oh, he's in the jungle. Whoa! He must have just went straight there. Oh, I got out of there quickly, but that was not great. So hopefully I can get over to his red buff soon. I figured recalling here will be faster than how long it would take me otherwise. I don't know if that's a great idea or not. But like I said, I'm pretty sure he got my red buff, so if I can get over to his quickly, maybe I can steal it. I have a lot of problems with counter jungling. So for those of you who don't know, counter jungling is when you go into the opposing jungle and try to basically mess with their jungle, take their camps, that sort of thing. When that happens to me, sometimes I just lose it. I'm not entirely sure what to do. And then I'm just done. So, like I said, hopefully I can learn a little bit more here and I can get better at it. Now I've gotten his red buff. So it's evened out a little bit. Again, not...
Who dares defy my will?
An ally has been slain.
What's going on there?
An enemy has been slain.
Just Fate is still hanging out here.
Could I be more for my father, the king?
Not very familiar with Shakao or Shako or whatever his name is. So.
Find me greater foes.
Again, like, that's one thing I got to get used to is figuring out what the other characters can do. Most of that you can be done by playing more and more, but there's a handful of characters I'm not terribly familiar with. So I try to say this at the beginning of most of my videos, but I think I forgot to this time. I'm not very high level. These are all normal games. I'm basically trying to learn how to get better, and B, hopefully put up some videos so that people who want to see some lower level games and not won't be as confused by really high level gameplay, and just want to see some people who are more like them can have some videos for that. So, like I said, any advice I can get, I would be very grateful for. And if you are a newer player and have some questions, and you think maybe I'll be a little more approachable than some of the experts, then feel free to ask me. Let's go. So again, once someone suggested I level my, I've been leveling my W. I'm sorry, my E rather than my Q or my W, and some people suggested leveling my W for team fights. But again, that's something I'm getting used to.
I love a challenge.
Oh, out of mana. Oops, not bad. Yeah, so I'm still getting used to a whole bunch of things. So, but I'm trying to figure out what the best is. This seems to work pretty well because it ups your attack speed and armor, and that's just sort of generally useful. But, yeah. So, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm a little rattled here from the counter jungling. It always throws me off a little bit. Looks like we're doing pretty well in general. I was a little worried just because we had a little bit of craziness going into our champion select. I think I mentioned this on previous videos, but I tend to do.
We shall rest when we are dead.
I tend to do draft pick as opposed to blind pick. I figure draft pick, well, it'll get you a little better ready for. It'll get you better. It'll get you more ready for. Oh, my blue buff is up. It'll get me ready for. Ranked a little better, and people tend to be a little more civil in it. I've found that might not be the case, but that's kind of been my experience. So anyway, one of the things, one piece of advice that I got, which would be useful to new people as well, is to try to pull the big buffs into the bushes. Probably didn't need to waste my flash there, but not bad in general. Anyway, what was I saying? Try to pull the buffs into the bushes so that if someone tries to steal them, it won't work because they won't be in the place they're expecting them to be.
Protect the faithful.
I really didn't gank very well there. I was looking at a different part of my screen
Find me greater foes.
and got off a little bit. So I have the timer on his buff, which is up in about 5 seconds here. So I'm going to come and try to take it again. Got my smite up.
For my father, the
Oh,
king.
I was off by just a couple seconds there, unfortunately, so I might wasted my EQ combo. This is 610, so yeah, I'm trying to pull him into the bush here. So as I move along and try to get there. Now, so this is something I should mention, especially for newer players. You notice when I went back to my own red buff, the two little lizards were still there. So that's actually a very common tactic for counter jungling, because what happens with the buffs, and some people don't know this, is that I messed up a little bit there. I trapped my own guy inside, but that's not. We got one kill. The way the buffs work is that they they spawn at the appropriate time. 155 for the big camps, the red and the blue buff, the big lizard and the big golem that give you the buffs. And then they spawn at, and then the other ones spawn at 205. And then they spawn a certain amount of time after the last monster in that bush is killed.
Could I be more?
I probably could have saved the kill for him there, but I was a little worried just because he was so low. But anyway, they yeah, they spawn. So and again, the Jungle Timer will help you with this, but it's only after the last monster in that spot is killed. And so what he did to me by leaving those two little lizards there is they basically, until someone came back and cleared those out, they would not respawn. And so basically, I've lost having buffs in my side of the jungle because of that. And so it was a pretty good strategy. So I'm just taking this to make sure he doesn't have a timer on these. I mean, he can't really because he took out because of what he did. But I figured if I can keep control of his red buff the whole game by having a timer on it, then I'm in a pretty good position. So I'm actually going to go back now just to spend. So anyway, that's sort of what was going on there with the counter jungling, for those people who don't know. So he basically tried to deprive me of that, but I think I effectively countered it pretty well. By doing what I did. So I think late game, we're going to need someone kind of tanky. Pantheon's kind of tanky, but so I'm going to start going for Warmogs here. Maybe the Aegis later, but let's go ahead and grab the other sword, Lizard Elder. I didn't take any wards, but that's okay for now. Get the buffs up in just a little bit. So anyway, I'm a little scattered here, but that's kind of what happens. I'm kind of behind on levels partially because I'm ganking so much, but I've gotten a couple kills. I feel like I'm happy with how it's going so far. I'm sure I'm making plenty of mistakes, and I appreciate you guys telling me what I do. Again, I'm trying to get better, and the best way to do that is by listening to people's advice. And I like to think I'm doing that pretty well. So, and then we're going to pull them into the bush. So that's what we do, right? I'm learning. I'm going to play him away from the flag there. This is the end of the world. Little lizards. So right now, I'm kind of happy with how we're doing. We're not pushing down their towers a ton, but I'm sort of happy with how it's going.
Today is a good day to die.
Take it down, see if we can help. But we got him. I think we mastered on it and Lux both survived. So they're both going back, so I'm going to help push this lane out a little bit. The enemy red buff is up in about 40 seconds, so I'm going to take advantage of that and try to continue to maintain control of his red buff. Even though I have a red buff, it's more about messing with him than it is getting it for myself.
Could I be more epic?
He hasn't caught me there yet. Feeling okay with it. He may have warded it, knowing that I keep stealing it. So he may be lurking around the corner here somewhere. But again, it seems to be going well for me. So it ain't broke, I guess. But I guess doing the same thing over and over again can be predictable, and therefore leave me open to danger. Timer on his red buff. I think I forgot to put a timer on my last red buff.
Find me greater foes.
slain.
the
Ooh,
king.
good job, Lux. I probably should have been there to help. I was kind of not entirely seeing what was going on. So
No
that's my
quarter
bad.
for the
Neither of them are
wicked.
dead. Just Jin Zhao. Ugh. My blue buff's got a couple minutes left
Who
on it.
dares defy my will?
Talon's roaming top to help. So I'm going to roam middle. Do something to Twisted Fate, protect our turret, all that jazz. I don't know if I can take him on one-on-one. My guess is that I cannot.
An enemy has been slain.
Now and forever.
Dominating.
Oh, I didn't realize our middle turret now.
Could I be
Pretty sad.
more for my father, the king?
Godlike.
Today is a good day to
My
die.
red buff is back up, so let's go ahead and start working on that.
Ally has been slain.
Again, holding on to both red buffs.
No
I'm just
quarter for the wicked.
keeping Shikao down. Chaka, whatever.
Has destroyed turret.
My homers are serving me well.
Protect the
So,
faithful.
very happy about that.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
It blues up in about a minute, so I need to be down here anyway.
Demacia. Now and forever.
I'm getting used to this camera moving.
Who dares defy my will?
Backside here. I think I can. Up. Cut them both.
Dominating.
Rest when we are dead.
Okay. Again, this is one where I'm like, I feel like I'm doing well, but I know it's not. I mean, I think part of it's like I don't want to bash myself too much, but I mean, part of it might be that I'm making mistakes and I'm not experienced enough to realize all that, or my teammates might be doing really, really well. They seem to be holding their. Everyone seems to be holding their lane pretty well, so I don't. I definitely think that no one is slacking is the wrong word, but.
Stand with me, brothers and
There.
sisters.
But yeah, it seems to be going really well. And you can see it in the kill count. Like my
But to do
not
and die.
too far. There's red buffs up in a minute.
Killing spree. Legendary.
No quarter for the wicked.
Alright, let's see. Caitlyn again here. I meant to put my W on there and I just missed. I didn't realize. I should have realized how far down the tower was.
Godlike.
Red buff was up in 11 seconds.
Purge the unjust.
Legendary. Shut down.
So, again, Tristana is doing a lot more damage than I am, so giving her the red buff is definitely going to be helpful. So, let's donate to her. Again, let's kill off all these, and I'll put my timer on it.
Could I be more epic?
And that was a good suggestion by Tristana. 820 right now, so I should keep an eye on Dragon's health. Smite it as soon as possible, so it's going away. Ooh. Dragon on my map. So my red's up in a minute and a half, so I can go get that. Kill the big one, give it to Talon. And see if we can help push this tower down. Trying to set a trap for us, but he just died. Trap.
An enemy has been slain.
My red's up in a little bit. Let's push this down a little bit more. So we'll get the wraiths on the way. That should be right about time. I don't know if I'm spending too much time concerned with the buffs. I mean, like again, we're doing well, but I don't think it's because anything I'm doing necessarily. Like I said, I think I'm doing pretty well. But again, I don't want to take credit for it, and it's pretty easy, too easy to do. Say, oh, I'm doing so well at jungling, but no, definitely have too much money. I need to go back here soon. My bad. Again, try to smite at the very end. Red buff. Let's go back now. Again, we're doing ridiculously well kill count wise, and again, I can't take all credit for that by any means. But again, I feel like I'm doing well in my situation. So I get rid of these potions. And again, so I was going to mention this. One thing that I believe it's Mega Man was mentioning was that I spend a lot of money on potions. I tend to again, for a while, what I would do would be just to I would just stack up on potions every time I went back. I would buy 5 or 6 of them. I don't know if we can save Tristana here. No, we're pretty sure not. But we'll try to protect the tower.
Who dares defy my will?
Tower's here. Yeah, well, that works out. My blue buffs up, but again, I don't think we should be. Oh, there goes the anyway, like I said, if you have any advice for me, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, if you're a newer player, just let me know. Again, this is Adam. I'm the Eclectic Gamer, and hope you have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.